Hello again, and welcome back. It's Nigel Bigsby here. Great to have you. Welcome to part 2 of our long discussion here on 40 Cray about faster-than-light travel through the warp. Oh, I'm sure there'll be lots of segues into different subjects, knowing those boys. Well, let's hope Gabrielle can hold on for dear life so she doesn't lose her sanity in this part 2 episode. Okay, enjoy it now. Ta-ta. So why did we got into these gods? Because the whole point of getting back to the original,
back to the Astronomicon.
So you're in the warp. The warp is a really dangerous place because there are whole parts of it that are devoted to each of these gods, and if you're just like swimming through it, demons, which are often extensions of these gods, and in some cases are just their own entities spawned by emotions, will eat you. They will eat your soul because your soul is the thing that they see in the warp. So if you're traveling through the warp, you have to you said force field, there's a thing called a Geller field, which must be on to protect you from warp entities. So the thing you were saying, let's say you get stranded there and the field is broken, yeah, you're literally going to be stuck in hell, beset by creatures from all sides.
And as a side, this is why I love the Orks. Because the Orks travel faster than light by entering the warp, but they don't have a Geller field. They just power through it. They get attacked by demons, and they see it as an opportunity to fight. And they love that shit. So they just brute force their way through the warp, fighting demons, and then they get where they have to go. That's why I love them.
Just to throw in, like we talked about the 4 chaos gods, they're kind of the I don't know if the right word is like manifestation of a lot of human emotions and a lot of other. I mean, I think they're pretty human in origin, but I think it's also in other sources kind of suggested they're not just limited to humanity. There are other gods in the warp too, because if you have enough people believing in an entity, that belief will essentially become self-aware and become a self-fulfilling prophecy as a warp entity.
So if I make a YouTube video explaining to all the world about how awesome the Easter Bunny is and everyone starts believing it, the Easter Bunny might become real.
The Easter Bunny would become real in the warp. The Easter Bunny probably is real in the warp.
Yes, enough children believe.
Would it be evil?
Not necessarily. Well, but not necessarily. Like if you believe in like just an ultimately. So here's an example. Like the Emperor and a lot of the lore, it's hypothesized. Like part of the reason he's alive and part of the reason he's so powerful is because you've got untold billions of humans which believe that he's a god. So all of that energy that they're creating in the warp goes to him. The reason I bring that up, so the Orks, they have 2 gods, which may or may not actually be more powerful than the Chaos gods. We don't really know. And some people think they are, some people think they aren't. But their 2 gods are Gork and Mork.
Okay. That's clearly on purpose to be funny.
The god of brutal cunning and cunning brutality.
Okay.
Seriously. Like
and no one knows which is which.
It's like assistant manager and assistant to the manager become like orc gods.
Yes. And basically, individually, a lot of people think they're actually more powerful than the Chaos gods, but they're just constantly like wrestling in the warp. So they just kind of do their own thing.
Well, isn't it an oxymoron that their gods have the word cunning in it? Because aren't they stupid?
Cunning brutality and brutal cunning.
Well, that's also the thing that the bigger an orc gets, the stronger they get, but also the smarter they get.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
What's the smartest orc able to do?
Actually, so here's an interesting point too. It's not just that orc. If you
I'll let you talk about the beast.
The beast, it's not Beauty and the Beast, but there was an orc like.
Why do you think I'm gonna think? Never mind. Go ahead.
Because we're Beauty
I'm
and the
a
Beast.
female.
Because you're a girl.
Because we watched that not too long ago, and I happen to know that's the last thing you thought of with regard to the Beast. Was I wrong?
Yes, you were wrong.
What did you think?
I was waiting to hear what the Beast was.
She was thinking about Brock Lesnar.
That's a good wrestling reference. Great. Now I feel like a chauvinist. All right, so it's not Beauty and the Beast. I'm sorry. Fuck Emma Watson. Anyway, Emma Watson, if you're out there, come on the show. Prove me wrong. So there was an orc who became so powerful. Basically, all these orcs are very psychic, but they don't know it. And whatever they believe becomes true.
Like the red ones go faster.
Like the red ones go faster, or the yellow ones shoot better, etc.
The purple ones are invisible.
Yeah, purple's invisible.
Oh, there's lots of color rules.
Oh yeah,
that's fun.
Is it blue is lucky?
Blue is lucky.
It's kind of cute.
Green is the best because it's the color of orcs.
Green is the best.
So the more orcs you have, all that psychic energy pools and they become smarter. So the really strong orcs gather more and more orcs to them. So if you have a really powerful warlord, war boss, more orcs are going to come. They're all going to get smarter, and that one orc is going to get stronger because he's got all of their energy feeding him. The beast was the size of a titan, so that means he's probably like 3 or 4 stories tall.
Mm-hmm.
And he was so smart, and the orcs around him became so smart. They actually spoke like amazing English at one point, or amazing Common Imperial, and went to like the Imperial court and like outsmarted the Imperials that were there. So he basically like force evolved all the orcs that were around him. Of course, when they killed him, they all went back to being stupid.
Oh, that's super sad.
Not to correct you, Ben, but a titan is 180 feet tall.
What about like a warhound?
Warhound's not so much, but most titans.
Rules lawyer.
Yeah, rules lawyer. All right, I'm looking up beast orc size because you're right. Like he's definitely not the size. He's like 3 or 4 stories tall, so he's not the size of like a warlord titan. Okay, he says his tusks are the size of tree trunks, but that could be exaggerated. So I'll tell you what. In a future episode, Tom, I think you're probably right. That's probably probably exaggerated. We'll do a size comparison.
The beast was mistaken for a 10-meter tall statue until he started to move.
So 10 meters, that's 30 feet. That's about 3 stories.
Yeah.
Such quick math. So, okay.
It's divided by 3.
We've gone through warp stuff, chaos gods, and orcs. How does this relate to the Astronomicon?
It really doesn't.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone. Good night. Da-da-da-da-da.
Is there going to be a part 2 to this? I
think we've already got 3 parts at this point.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I hope this continues. This is hilarious.
So we're talking about the warp because the point is you don't want to be in the fucking warp.
Yeah, it's basically hell.
It's basically hell, and that gets back to the original premise of this. One of the reasons that 40K is so grimdark is because if you want to travel interstellar differences, you have to go through hell. There's none of this light speed. There's none of this warp speed. You literally have to take your ship into hell, and there's a pretty good percentage chance, even with a navigator, even with the Astronomicon, and even with your Geller fields to protect you, you could be lost in the warp for hundreds of years. You could end up in the wrong place, or you could be lost forever and your soul's eaten for eternity by demons.
So why don't these if you have a band of orcs or space marines or whatever, just stay on your planet, make your one planet peaceful, put up a few Starbucks, get some Netflix, and just stay there.
Yeah, that's so the whole thing with the Emperor is that during the earlier age, like the Age of Strife and all of that, when humanity started to expand to the farthest reaches of the Milky Way, they sort of set up their own colonies, and they were cut off from everything else, and the Emperor wanted to unite everybody under one government. So it's kind of their duty to go and bring everybody into the Imperium.
So yeah, there's a couple things. To Tom's point, it's almost like manifest destiny, in the U.S. history, which I'm not condoning. I'm whatever your thoughts on that, and it is imperialist, and they did do a lot of bad things when they were expanding westward. But they are absolutely, we would judge them to be racist. If you're not human, most factions in the Imperium would just kill you on sight, just by matter of fact. So there is absolutely a human supremacy thing.
Uh-huh.
And part of that is because there are so many threats in the galaxy, the Milky Way, that if they take over, they figure they'll just be safer. So you won't have to worry about orcs. You won't have to worry about Eldar. You won't have to worry about Tyranids, which are a whole other thing. Notice I'm not mentioning the Tau because who cares?
They have such a small amount of space occupied that they're really not a threat.
But so there's that. The other piece is like humanity at one point was pretty close to doing that, and then it's a little bit like let's retake what's ours. The other piece is the Emperor actually, before he got entombed on the Golden Throne, had this whole plan to create basically a system of wormholes that would enable people to travel faster than light without using the warp. But unfortunately, they were destroyed. So actually, Eldar, the elves,
the Webway project.
Exactly, they used the Webway. So, and Tom, I mean, you know a little bit more about this too, just because you're a Harlequin player. What is the Webway?
So the Webway is kind of like extra dimensional space, but not really the warp. So it's kind of like a spider's web that connects different nodes, and you can travel faster than light between points safely. The Black Library exists somewhere hidden in the Webway, and it's just better way to go. That's what the Emperor was hoping to achieve until Magnus fucked it up.
So maybe that's a good stopping point, because then next time we can go through all of that. But Gabrielle, okay, so I see you've taken a lot of notes here. What are questions left, or what are your impressions after we went through this? I would argue diatribe lecture.
So in conclusion.
Well, at least two things. One, I just want to make sure that I don't come off as like a basic bitch by insinuating that a successful life only means staying on one world and having Netflix and Starbucks. And
yeah, as we drink coffee and are about to go watch Netflix.
And also, I didn't realize there was this whole mission to like bring people to the Imperium. So I felt a real like Star Trek parallel of like, first contact and bringing people into. Now, of course, I don't remember the name of whatever it is in Star Trek.
The Federation.
The Federation. Yeah, I guess there are worlds that don't know the Imperium exists and they've never experienced.
Or they might remember they might have like 5,000 years ago like legends about like having been part of like some kind of there's this holy world, like in some ways like the same way we have mythology, like they might remember 6,000 years ago as legend, like something about being part of a distant world, but like they definitely don't know that there's an Imperium, because I actually read a short story which was part of a compendium, one of the Horus Heresy books, where there's a world which is very much like Earth circa like 1940 that is discovered by Space Marines who are like, hey, you have to join the Imperium. And of course we're like, the humans in that world are like, well, no, fuck, why would I do that? You guys are alien invaders to me. And it's like, because you fucking have to. So they just crush the planet and enslave it, basically, because the Imperium, the reason they're doing this is to protect humanity. But to be clear, they are not good guys. Like, it is a fascist dictatorship and rough.
I'm aware. Nobody's a good guy, basically, except for the salamanders, right?
Salamanders. Anyway, maybe
even
Exodus.
They're pyromaniacs. They'll burn you to death.
Well, but you deserved it, right?
Yeah.
But they'll enjoy it.
Ugh, Jesus.
Yeah, they'll feel bad, but they'll enjoy it.
For everyone, by the way, maybe if I do this again, I should give more background on what I'm interested in and who I am. But I like Star Trek and I like My Little Pony. So I like a lot of good things. So I think that's my biggest thing that keeps me from identifying or getting into this stuff.
You have no business being here.
Well, but that's an interesting point too. Like, there's that whole Game of Thrones conversation about, a lot of these fantasy universes, like Lord of the Rings or Star Trek or even Star Wars. You sometimes might imagine yourself like, oh, that would be fun to be in that universe. You don't want to be in Warhammer 40K, just like you don't want to be in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're just a normal citizen on Holy Terra, life's got to be okay, I guess. Unless you're someone that gets sacrificed.
But even on Terra, there's like billions of people. Like I forgot the exact number, but way more than we have today. And most of them are extremely impoverished and barely get by.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I would, if I lived in this universe and I was some random human on some crappy ass world, I would try to sign up to be a salamander space marine, or I would just make I try to make like a little town that has like a garden.
Dude, you don't want to be a space marine.
What the fuck am I gonna do?
But like when you're a space marine, like Tom, what's like you know Blood Angels pretty well. I know a couple others, but basically like if you have 100 kids that are like trying to be space marines, like 5 survive, maybe.
Yeah.
I'd rather die than live in this universe, which sucks so much.
The thing about space marines is they understand that their entire existence is war, and they know that they're functionally immortal, so they know that they will die a gruesome, bloody, painful death on the battlefield, because that's the only way they can die. You know, they're weapons of war, and that's the only possible way they can die is with a bolter round or a plasma blast to the face.
Or too much Chipotle leading to nervous rats.
Or in a Taco Bell bathroom. That's just how it's going to be.
I mean, as long as I get to scroll through Instagram when I'm not fighting, then.
But like if you're a space marine, boy, we are way off here. But let's keep going. Look, guys, like I've been thinking about this a lot. I'm gonna go on a tangent here. Podcast is an excuse to talk to your friends.
There's gonna be enough usable content here for maybe 2 episodes.
But like Tom, I'm not gonna call you up like, hey Tom, how you doing? That's weird. But we can have a podcast, and it's like, oh, now we get to talk about shit. This is
what
fun.
am I, your mother?
Yeah. Hashtag toxic masculinity. Hashtag America. Hashtag meta. But anyway, you're as a space marine, you don't take pleasure in food. Like with like the space wolves drink, yes. But they don't really get drunk. They don't have sex. Like space wolves again sometimes have sex. So you don't really, because you don't care. It's not because they don't have functional members. Because I think like
okay, so yeah, there's debate about that. Do they have the equipment, or do they just not have the drive?
And like if you look like Emperor's Children, there are definitely in like 4D-chan and like wikis examples of them having like orgies.
Oh yeah, they definitely have offspring with humans all the time.
So and I don't, Tom, is that in like one of the books? Like if somebody's like, oh, where is it from? Do you remember where that was from?
I could not point to a specific example.
So let's, guys out there, if you're listening, feel free to put it in the comments if we're wrong or if you know where this is coming from. But I have heard examples of like orgiastic things. Yeah. So hypothetically, it's just that they don't care. Because remember, they're like indoctrinated and brainwashed because they're not afraid of things. They don't feel fear like normal humans. And the only time when they feel good is when they're fighting. If they don't fight, they don't feel good.
They understand that they are a weapon, and that's it.
I mean, there's some variation. So, like, White Scars also like going real fast, like Ricky Bobby, and Ultramarines like empire building. Dark Angels like being conspiratorial, as do Alpha Legion. So there's some things that they kind of enjoy, yeah. But their lives kind of suck.
And that's the whole thing. Like, once the end goal was achieved, once the Emperor unified all the human settlements in the Milky Way, then there would be no need for the Astartes, and they would be destroyed.
Right? And they know that.
Do they, though?
Yeah, it's definitely come up before. Like in the Horus Heresy books, there's a couple times that I've seen them say, like, oh, what would our role be? And I think that's, in Thousand Sons, I think it's like A Thousand Sons was the first book, and then Prospero Burns. Uh-huh. Like, there's a part where Ahriman, Gabrielle, we're going way nerdy here. So Ahriman's like one of the main characters from The Thousand Sons, but he talks about like being a wine connoisseur and liking art. And likewise, the Blood Angels, like a big part of their culture is like art and sculpture and painting. So there are parts where they talk about like,
children.
Well, and then, I mean, yeah, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. But like there are parts
before the heresy, they were very similar to the Blood Angels. So.
Oh yeah, because they had like they were into concerts and they were into painting and sculpture and. Right. But they kind of know like they don't have a purpose if there's not fighting. It's like Thanos after the snap. He just kind of goes to a planet and is just like, I'm going to be a farmer because, like, why the fuck not?
And he doesn't even care when he gets murdered.
Yeah, because his purpose is done.
Is there any afterlife in this universe?
Whew.
Huh.
Not that they really talk about.
Yeah. So there's
Like-
definitely a soul.
Yeah, also, what is a soul? Why does every evil thing want it? What does it give
Because
things?
it's yummy.
Okay.
It is, yeah, it's quite delicious.
What's your favorite way to eat a soul?
Probably on the barbecue.
Yeah, I like mine with a little bit of like creme fraiche foam.
Ooh.
I feel like souls should be, imbibed or
So-
like. In
Oh, like you drink a soul? I mean, there is a chapter called the Soul Drinkers, so there
Yeah.
you go.
with a lemon scented foam.
Don't Emperor's Children inject soul enemas?
Warp dust. So yeah, they kill people and turn them into drugs, and then snort them like cocaine.
This is a real thing?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a real fictional thing.
So that's kind of why the Emperor's Children were not really a big part of the assault on Terra during the heresy, because they were too busy killing people and turning them into drugs and getting high.
So yeah, when the Horus Heresy, when there's a civil war, the Emperor's Children, that's the Slanesh group, were supposed to show up, and they were too busy like getting high and like fucking around, and they lost because they were just like, guys, we need your help, and they were like, oh, we'll be there in a little bit.
Yeah. And to his credit, Peter Turbo was really the only one who like actually gave a shit.
I feel like there needs to be some sort of mockumentary of what it would look like to be in this universe, and that would be accessible to everyone.
I would
So
watch that.
like Tom, if you had to be in this universe, I feel like being a rogue trader is dangerous, but would be kind of fun to like have your own ship and like fuck around the universe and stuff.
Yeah.
Or actually, being an Inquisitor, aside from all of the like, you're gonna get killed horribly, like all the Inquisitor books, a lot of it is like, like Ocean's 11. Like I'm gonna put my posse together. I got the guy who's a gunfighter, and I got the ogre, and I got the cool lady.
The Inquisition, they're basically always the bad guys. Like, even when the main character is like a space marine or the Imperium, they're always up against the Inquisition because
Out of scope. I don't know about Inquisitors yet.
But you can learn more about them in my upcoming short story, Albatross,
in the next episode of 40 Cray.
which I'll probably put on Reddit because I don't know where else to put it because I don't understand Discord.
And
Also-
I read some of it, and I liked it, and I don't know what's going on either.
Also read Spear of the Emperor.
Is that like the Astronomicon?
Oh, it is so good. No, Aaron Bensky-Bowden, ADB, Spear, so good. I can't recommend it enough.
Is that the one about the Primaris Legion?
So it is about the Mentors Legion. Well, a lieutenant captain from the Mentors Legion goes to the Imperium Nihilus to send a message and gets stuck there because it's the Imperium Nihilus and he can't get back. So he kind of has to start a new life there. But he ends up helping out this other chapter in their fight against the Chaos Marines. But no spoilers, the Inquisition are a bunch of assholes. Even though they are an Imperial body, nobody fucking likes them. They're a bunch of dicks.
I'm really attracted to an Imperial body. Don't worry, you've got an Imperial body.
I don't know what that means, but that's good.
I don't know
if that's a compliment.
So I think future episodes, let's this will be great radio. We'll pull up a map of the Milky Way and we'll walk through what it looks like.
Also, before we end, can someone please tell me in like one sentence what is an Astronomicon? Because I was told
That's the
that
light.
was...
That's the light. That's the lighthouse that comes from the Emperor. Where he's like, "Hello."
So the light that comes from the Emperor.
It's like a giant pillar of light that is so powerful and searing that you can see it throughout the warp, and they use it to guide
Okay,
themselves.
I feel that is not properly named because I feel like a something Omicon is usually like a compendium of literature. So I feel like that's
we
not
we talked about this for about 15 minutes and then it diverged quite greatly for the rest of. But yeah, the Astronomicon is a light emitted by the Emperor.
I mean, look, I've just had a lot of fun. This has been a blast, Astronomicon.
Oh.
Do we want to see as a closer, do we want to see how many Astronomicon puns we can make that we haven't made yet?
So I want to hear Gabby recap everything we've talked about.
Okay, all right, yeah, okay. So she can do that.
Oh, God.
I'll avoid the Astrobomicon of trying to do as many puns as I can.
Okay, I'll try to do this in like 30 seconds. Okay, so lots of literature has FTL. Didn't know that was an acronym until 20 minutes ago, or how long this has been.
You're already 10 seconds into a 30-second.
God damn it. So, there are the psychers, and they're in charge of making sure that you make it through the warp. And when they go into the warp, they see the Astronomicon, which is the light that comes from the Emperor, which is like a North Star that helps them navigate. And as they navigate, it's kind of like a little ship, and they travel normally, except there's no time. And apparently the psychers are the only ones like cognizant during all of this, and everyone else is in stasis, ? And then they are in this parallel universe. They travel the 1 bajillion miles or kilometers or whatever. They pop back into the regular universe after their Geller field has successfully protected them from the Chaos Gods and all other demons and Roy Rogers and Taco Bell. And then they go back to selling the Imperium to a new world.
I was trying to work Gastronomicon in there.
Okay, thanks.
But don't give me any Sastronomicon.
Thank you, Tom, for validating me.
Yeah,
That was very Fastronomicon. Sorry, my jokes too Crastronomicon.
That's imperative.
I just wanted to tell someone to tell me that I didn't fuck it up.
No, you did it. You did a great job. That was a. I'm trying to think of a pun involving Astronomicon and doing well.
You're obsessed. If you were a Chaos God, it would be about puns.
Yeah. No, that was some good nutshelling.
Ben is trying to think of another pun.
I'm hungry. Let's go get some Astronomiflon.
That's for dessert.
Gastronomiflon.
That's gastronomic. Hey guys, we've been drinking the entire time, so at this point, I'm a 7 out of 10. So I'm just happy I'm still on the podcast.
We're gonna listen to this later and be like, dude, we were fucking wasted.
Yeah. Hey, everyone, bless you, Tom. Bless you.
Oh, sorry, I apologize.
No, you can't apologize.
Wait, who's blessing him? Is it the Emperor?
No, because this is bless you. This is the real world. I want to make sure I bless him so the devil doesn't go in through his nose.
Yes.
The Earth Devil?
Yeah, the actual devil. Because when you sneeze, wow, 3 in a row. If you get to 7, that's Nurgle's holy number.
Well, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Tom, is there anything else we want to hawk before we close 40 Cray for the day?
We spotted Taco Bell and Roy Rogers.
Okay, that's 4.
Yeah, no, I have a hop sensitivity, so the more I drink, the more I'm gonna sneeze.
So yeah, let's some shout outs there. Hey, I didn't say this last time, but zapsplat.com. Thank you very much. Actually, it might be downward. Let me double check that. But Zapsplat, you guys are contributing the theme song. We love it. It really makes us feel happy. And for those of you at home who might be thinking about your own podcasts or just in general, the projects you're working on, yeah, zapsplat.com has some great audio files. Thank you, Gabrielle, for showing up. Taco Bell. If you want to sponsor us, literally, you could just send us some nachos, Bel Grande. That would be tight. But we love it. Guys, send us your thoughts, send us your comments. We'll do some more of this. I think we'll have the trying to explain complicated Warhammer shit to our patient significant others will be a recurring theme.
No problem. I'm happy to learn.
Tom, Gab, anything to bring us home?
Maybe we should just buy some Taco Bell and just comment on it next time as we record. I'd be fine with that.
Concur.
Okay, good talk. This is
good fight. Good night.
Good fight. All right. Yeah. Actually, wait. Say that again, and then I'm just going to end on that because we keep trying.
Good fight. Good night.
Hey, wait, actually, no. Wait, that was the thing from Celebrity Deathmatch, so we can't say that.
Is that trademark?
Yeah.
I mean, it's we have to come up with our own thing, though. We're a podcast.
Oh. Well, you're the podmaster.
Oh, let's get ready to rumble. No? Is that okay?
I mean, that was pretty good.
That sounded good. What's a chaos term?
I mean, like blood for the blood god.
Calls for the skull throne. Adios.
Yeah.
Muchachos.
Blood for the blood god, I guess.
I like adios muchachos. We're gonna end there. Good night, everyone.